Good afternoon. My name is James Deitch, and this week's discussion question is on the contrast and definitions of freedom and liberty. Any discussion with respect to freedom and liberty must begin and end with the definitions and a consensus on the meaning of the words. This poses a problem right from the beginning because in American English, the words are commonly used interchangeably and considered synonymous. I will argue that they are not. They are so diametrically opposed that one could potentially threaten the other. I've heard the argument that liberty and freedom can be equated to wealth and poverty. That may be a qualified statement, but what is better applied is the difference between being independent and dependent. A part of the problem in our understanding of the words lies in the etymology of the words. Freedom is a German word. It is Freiheit. However, there is no German word for liberty. Freiheit must approximate it in German. Conversely, liberty is rooted in the Latin, so in Spanish, Italian, French, any of the Romance language, there is a word for liberty, but no word for freedom. By extension, the concepts of freedom and liberty are understood to be different and not synonymous. This becomes primarily a matter of culture and history. How people think about things, how they understand them, and how they accept them. One is internalized, the other is external. One is given to us, and one must be taken. Now, Caroline Robbins contrasts these ideas greatly. However, that is because she's looking at it through Greek and Roman thinkers, through the works of Cato's letters, attributed to Robert Molesworth, although John Trenchard and Thomas Gordon are actually credited with doing the writing for that. They write what a strange doctrine it is, or must be, that men of a nation would suffer collectively from the sins of a single man that they can't control. So they go on to say that all men are born free. They state that liberty is a gift from God, not discerning the words, but immediately equating them, which is what the problem is here. This does not suggest that Robbins accepts this premise, but it indicates that that's how she's reflecting them in the letters from Cato. So freedom is an internal construct. It is given to us by God. It comes from natural law. The Constitution's First Amendment exercise clause is the best illustration of this. An example of this can be found in the case of Lamb's Chapel versus Center Maurice School District in 1993. And then again in Good News Club versus Milford Central Schools 2001, the attempt to challenge this is based on religious freedom and freedom of speech, but that's secondary to the true intent of the clause. You cannot grant or deny something that is not in your authority to do. Freedom is not guaranteed to us by others. It's ours to enjoy from God without additional demands or requirements on us. So what is liberty then? Well, I was very anxious to see what Daniel Hannan had to say on this, and I was disappointed. He doesn't speak to liberty, but I found something as important in his comments on American exceptionalism. He quoted President Obama, who education was in constitutional law, and when Obama was asked how he felt about American exceptionalism, he responded, "I believe in American exceptionalism the same way that I think that Greeks would think about Greek exceptionalism." Now, think about the ideas that we hold dear as Americans, and that kind of puts that in context. Free speech, free contract, free assembly, ownership rights, congressional control of the executive, are any of those freedoms? No, they're not. In their context, they're liberties that must be fought for, and they can be taken away. So what is freedom then? Freedom is ours. It cannot be taken away. That means it exists internally to us. It's our ideas. It's how we see and feel things. All concepts of liberty are external. They can be compromised by a government that does not want us to have them. Your freedom to think and feel is yours. Your freedom to act is not. Big problem for Americans understanding that concept. The Constitution and Bill of Rights do not afford us freedom. What they do is they afford us negative liberties. And that is what the state cannot do to us. They do not say what the state can do for us. That would be positive liberties and an obligation imposed on us by the state. That is the difference between freedom and liberty. I suspect we will have some great discussion on the nuances of this difference, and I look forward to hearing your contrasting ideas on this. Thank you.